everybody. Welcome to another episode of Health Discourse with Sushant and Sakshi. And our topic for today's discussion is going to be about protein, right? So, today, Sushant, let us all decode all things about protein, why exactly it is needed for our body, and why India has become a protein obsessed nation.
Okay, so good morning, everyone, and this is going to object a lot of people, especially people who go to gyms, who buy protein shakes, protein powders, and think high protein diet is solution for everything, right? So earlier, if you go to primitive ways, there was very less source of protein available, and we were protein deficient earlier till the time the cattle was also domesticated, right? And till the time we entered into a phase, now thing is we have huge sources of protein, whether it is plant or animal based. You call it breast chicken, you call it fish, you call it red meat. Then from vegetable sources, quinoa, oats, legumes, pulses, right? There are a lot of even plants. All plants have amino acids, all 20 amino acids, right? So when we talk of protein, it is about amino acids. We may buy protein-rich food, protein powder, protein supplement, but for our body, it is nothing but a bouquet of amino acids, right? And that is what at its core. Again, there are 20 amino acids, nine are essential and 11 are non-essential. So essentially, we mean that these are something our body cannot produce it, and we need to ingest it from the diet, and these are really, really important. Right? No doubt, we need protein for various biological and metabolic functions, right? For recovery, for our muscles, for a number of these essential things going on inside our body, right? But too much over excess of consumption have a detrimental effect on our health, right? And also, to answer your question, why we have become obsessed with protein is that there are certain things doing grounds which do not have a scientific claim that high protein diet can help you lose weight, can help you uh, manage your type 2 diabetes situation, or can help in some sort of, cardiovascular health. There are multiple such things going on, which is actually the most flawed assumption what we have seen till now, right? And I'm going to tell you a few things today uh, with respect to certain amino acids and how it is linked to a number of chronic health issues. Yeah.
So, let us just decode that how different amino acids are related to, different chronic health ailments.
Okay, so first of all, let us understand first, let us understand the sources, and why people prefer animal sources and why, you don't need to be a non-vegetarian to get the right source of protein, right? So there are so in case of animal protein, the ratio of the amino acids is optimal and similar, right? And then that's why animal-based protein does provide a lot of required protein for our body, right? As far as plant protein is concerned, this ratio is very suboptimal. So it is not a single food which could provide you the right set of protein requirement, right? So obviously there is a combination. So you can, for instance, you can combine oats with pumpkin seeds. You could combine legumes with rice, legumes with wheat. But here wheat doesn't mean white wheat. We don't talk of pastas and white bread and processed wheat, what in India we call as maida, right? These all are not the right sources. So whole wheat, there is whole wheat fibrous foods, right? So all every plant, even you take all green vegetables, have some sort of protein. So obviously you need to do the right set of combination. So it is not that you always need animal, a chicken or animal or a fish, right? From a protein perspective, obviously fish is a good source of healthy fat as well. But from a protein perspective, you don't need always need animal-based diet to complete your protein requirements. Similarly, tofu is one of the great sources of protein. Yeah. So that is thing. And first, let us understand the mechanics, right? Up to a certain limit, for instance, up to 50 grams, 25 to 50 grams of the protein you take or the amino acids you take, it is readily absorbed by our body, right? Again, there's an oral microbiome signaling where it tells it is coming and we start absorbing in the small intestine, right? Uh, but when we consume in excess, right, it is like, our body needs only a certain amount of uh, food sources, energy sources, at one point in time. So whatever is left over goes to the large intestine where the trillions of microbes are living there, right? And it activates certain microbes, certain proteobacteria, gamma proteobacteria, which start expressing verbalized genes and in turn metabolize these amino acids and convert them into harmful byproducts such as methane, ammonia, pyrrolide, bicosol, TMAO, right? PAG, there are a number of such byproducts, and these are all what I've named as toxins, right? And these toxins are linked with number of health issues such as obesity, type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, cancer situation, digestive issues, autoimmune disorders, number of these things, right? And let us break down each one of them, right? Uh, I will start with uh, one of the most prominent one, which is ignored by a lot of us, and that we assume that such high level of again, this is for every not for every individual. We really need to understand our biology with specific microbes active, what they're doing, genes they're expressing. So it's not for everyone, right? So that's why it is very, very personalized. So when we talk of, let us talk about TMAO, right? What is TMA? TMA is an microbial byproduct when they consume a lot of choline, L-carnitine, and lecithin in the foods we eat, right? And here, when we talk of lecithin and choline, it is lecithin is eggs have a lot of lecithin, right? Choline, a lot of these kidney beans, pulses have choline, right? So there's certain microbes that when you're consuming too much of eggs, for instance, when you're going to gym, you think that I want to lose weight, so I will have 8, 6, 10 eggs a day, right? So that is really, really harmful. It feeds lecithin to your microbiome, and this microbiome convert this into TMA. Again, trimethylene. This is a toxin byproduct which goes with passes your bloodstream, goes to liver, converts into TMAO, and it is an independent risk factor for it is an inflammatory response to something bad you're eating in terms of high protein which certain microbes are producing toxins. It is an inflammatory response, and again TMAO is said to cause cardiovascular disease, and it is also said to increase the fat storage and reduce fat export. So unlike people think that eggs can help me lose weight, it may actually lead you to gain weight, right? So TMAO is linked to obesity and cardiovascular diseases. Similarly, we talk of Filinine, right? Filinine is found in milk, quinoa, pistachios, nuts and seeds, a lot of these, some meats in case you're taking plant-based protein, right? Fish, even fish, right? And there are certain microbes which can convert filinine into PAG, phenyl acetylglutamine, right? And it is an independent risk factor for cardiovascular disease, right? So if you are taking too much of protein, or you are on a high protein diet, probably you are creating a situation for entire wave of cardiovascular health issues and metabolic health issues, right? This is something which a lot of people do not understand, right? And chronic disease is something which develop over time, so you may not even know that you are producing this toxin, right? Uh, Third is tyrosine. Now, tyrosine again is an essential amino acid, right? And uh, it produces certain microbes can metabolize this and convert into precursor, right? Now, precursor is an uremic toxin, right? It causes, it leads to, high toxins in circulatory system. Your kidneys actually work on clearing this out, right? But over a period of time, when you consume too much of it, it becomes a problem. Your kidney becomes less sufficient to clear. There's a high circulatory level of Cortisol, which one of the factor for chronic kidney disease, right? But when you have high uremic toxin in the circulatory system, it also leads to oxidative stress, right? And oxidative stress can trigger cardiovascular disease, right? So you see TMAO, PAG, and precursor. Precursor is a byproduct of tyrosine. PAG is a byproduct of phenylene, and TMAO is a byproduct of lecithin and choline. All these are linked to uh, cardiovascular disease, right? Even TMA is linked to your obesity, right? Precursor is even linked to your type 2 diabetes because precursor suppresses your GLP-1 production, right? Uh, so these are few of these metabolites. Another one which I really want to mention is, tryptophan. Again, tryptophan is a tricky thing. There's certain microbe which can convert tryptophan into some parts convert to serotonin, which keeps our mood healthy, and it so protein is required in terms of regulating our brain health as well, right? Uh, but and also certain of these can be converted, certain tryptophan is converted into indole propionic acid, indole acetic acid, which is beneficial, right? Which improves the metabolic health. But some of the indole derivatives like indoxyl sulfate is again one of the independent risk factor for chronic kidney disease. Right. Again, it can trigger oxidative, it can also trigger cardiovascular issues, right? So these are again methane. We know methionine. A lot of bacteria can convert methionine into methane gas. Methane gas is slows down your food motility. Can trigger digestive issues. Can increase the risk of IBD, right? IBDC, what we call as IBD constipation, right? Similarly, ammonia, glutamine is something what we consume and gets converted to ammonia. Ammonia is impacts your brain health. So there are such multiple factors. When you are taking a high protein diet, it can be metabolize your microbiome into harmful stuff, and these can trigger a wave of a lot of digestive issues. So there is nothing called diet for losing weight or reversing diabetes, taking high protein diet. I've seen a lot of people are saying that you need to regulate your CGM levels, your blood sugar levels, so take a lot of protein. We have to count how much of you have to take, right? Which specific amino acid you have to take, right? In what quantity you have to take. So there are multiple factors at play, which that's why you need a personalized. You need to understand your biology and chemistry here, right? You can't just do it that, my next door neighbor is taking, my friend is taking, or in the community I'm there, so my people are adopting a lot of high protein diet and there's no problem. So probably I should also do that. That's all wrong way of approaching the things. Yeah.
So, what do you suggest to people, such as yourself? Because I know that you do quite a good, you do workout, right? So, what do you suggest to people? What should be their approach in terms of protein? And it's not always about protein. There are other micronutrients. I don't know why we are only getting stuck to protein. So, what do you suggest to these people?
So, from a food perspective, You have to think beyond macronutrient first thing. You can't think everything is about protein, carbs, and fats and counting calories. That is most of the absurd way of looking at your nutrition is counting calories. You assume that everyone will react to the food in the same way. Think that, you are sitting with your family on a dinner table, right? Everyone reacts to a food in different way. Everyone has different bowel movements, different reaction, different food, right? So essentially, there's nothing called as calorie counting. This is all bullshit, waste of time and money and your health, right? Second thing is you have to understand that food as an entire ecosystem of food ontology is a warehouse of 30,000 plus molecules, right? Now, how these molecules are metabolized or interact with your microbiome is what matters, right? So I have repeated this number of times, so let me repeat it again, right? So consider your gut microbiome as a chemical factory, right? So all these foods is a combination of these compounds and chemicals. These chemicals hit your microbiome, and microbiome, these microbes actually process these chemicals, convert into certain outputs. These outputs can be good, can give you vitamin, minerals, and antioxidants, short chain fatty acids, beneficial stuff, or bad things like toxins like ammonia, pyridine, precursor, and on a lot of these bad things which can impact various aspects of your health, right? So, if you talk of protein, there are a lot of vegetables which provide protein, which will also give you fiber, right? Uh, which will also give you a lot of vitamins, minerals. So understand your biology. Do not work in isolation. Do not focus on one particular nutrient, one particular molecule. Rather focus on how a food would bring different set of molecules which have different molecules will interact differently with your microbiome with your body. So essentially there's no one can actually tell you what you should eat, what you should not. You have to fix your biology, you have to understand your biology and understand what your body needs right now, right? So that is really, really important. Do not fall for this high protein. That is all disaster for your body.
Yes, I believe that. I totally believe that. So I think in this talk we've covered most of the details about protein. So would you like to conclude this talk with some words of wisdom?
Yeah, so they to understand that especially for people with type 2 diabetes and obesity, right? And trying to lose weight, right? It is first of all not about calorie counting, not about high protein diet, right? All this is an outcome of low grade chronic inflammation, right? And inflammation is in response of your immune system, and 70% immune system is around our gut lining. So you have to take care of your gut microbiome if you have to really fix your these health issues, right? Type 2 diabetes, we have seen a lot of these amino acids can actually lead to insulin spike, right? So as I mentioned about precursor, right, tyramine, phenylalanine. So a lot of these amino acids can actually lead to increase in your insulin spike, right? So do not fall for this such recommendation. Understand your biology. That is really, really important. Measure your biology, right? You don't need to fall for such diets. Just eating less is may help you lose weight for some time. Again, you will gain weight because you're not addressing the root cause. Root cause is chronic inflammation. That's it. I want to conclude. Yeah.
So thank you, Sushant, for these great insights on protein, and uh, and I think we're going to be back again with another episode.
Yeah.
So thanks.
Thank you. Bye bye.